Good morning, and thank you all for being here on this very important day. I'm here to state a fact that should shame every elected official who voted in favor of continued wars. Our American tax dollars are funding an illegal war against a sovereign nation. This ongoing war in Lebanon is not distant, it is not abstract, it is personal. That means that money pulled from your paychecks, from small businesses, from our children's futures, are buying the very weapons that are destroying Arab American family homes overseas. Not military targets, homes, with families inside of them. Because of many of us here, Lebanon is also our home. Let me be clear. American citizens are watching their own government fund the destruction of property, their investments, and their heritage overseas. This is not wrong. This is not just wrong, but this is unacceptable. We cannot and will not ignore this. Today is the beginning of accountability. We are not funding freedom. We are funding demolition. And until we demand that Congress stop writing blank checks for this unlawful violence, our own hands will not be clean. You are going to hear today from individuals who have lived this reality time and time again, who have lost their homes, lost their land, lost their family members, and lost their security. Their stories matter, their losses are real, and their voices will be heard. So thank you again for joining us today on this very important day. I'm going to hand it over to Nasser Beydoun, Chairman of ACRL.
Good afternoon. My name is Nasser Beydoun, Nasser Beydoun, Chairman of the American Arab Civil Rights League. Today is not just about legal action, it's about justice. Today is not just about legal action, it's about justice, accountability, and the voices of people who have been ignored for far too long. I stand before you today not only as a civil rights advocate, but as someone personally affected. Two of my parents' buildings in Bint Jbeil were destroyed. Both of my grandfather's houses were destroyed. This is not abstract. This is not political rhetoric. This is real, this is loss, families, investments, and generations of work reduced to rubble. As outlined today, ACRL is moving forward with a federal class action lawsuit on behalf of American citizens and others whose property and rights have been devastated. Let me be clear, American citizens are entitled to protection, not indifference from their own government or that of a genocidal Israeli government. We have watched a war unfold that has devastated lives, property, a war led by Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, a war criminal, a man many around the world view as responsible for these actions and must be held accountable. The United States has always stood on principle that it protects its citizens, no matter where they are in the world. That principle cannot be selective, cannot depend on politics, and cannot stop when American citizens are harmed by actions of a so-called ally. If our government cannot act to protect Americans everywhere else in the world, then it has the same obligation to protect us from aggression and to be held accountable when it fails to do so. Far too long, people with ties to Lebanon have watched their homes destroyed, their land taken, and their futures erased, with no accountability. That ends today. This is not just a lawsuit, this is a demand that the law be applied equally, a demand that our government uphold its duties to its citizens, and a demand that those who have suffered are finally seen and heard and made whole. We are here to stand with every family that lost a home, every individual who lost everything, and every American who refuses to accept silence in the face of justice. Now I'll turn it over to the founding chairman of ACRL, Mr. Nabi Ayed.
Again, I want to thank everybody that's here upstage with me and the individuals in the audience. This issue has been so deep and deep to the heart of everybody here in the southeastern Michigan. But we kept getting these requests, what can we do about it? What can ACRL do about what's going on and the destruction and devastation that's happening in people's homes in South Lebanon and in Beirut and other areas of Lebanon? Our team has looked long and hard, and we found that it would be one of the first of its kind in the country to bring a class action against the United States government, specifically the Secretary of State Rubio, for allowing this kind of conduct to happen. We have something called the Leahy Act, and the Leahy Act basically says, named after Senator Patrick Leahy, was passed in 2007, that basically says that if the United States cannot support or give aid or military aid of any sort to agencies, government, foreign agencies that are committing gross humanitarian conduct, meaning that they can't be in violation of humanitarian human consciences. That's what's going on in South Lebanon. The idea that these individuals could run rampant and blow up people's homes left and right, and you're going to hear from a lot of these individuals here this evening, that their homes are personally being just bombed left and right, indiscriminately, without no basis. And this BS that we always provided that, oh, there was Hezbollah, there was Hamas, there was this and that and there, is ridiculous. You're going to hear that there's school principals here, their owned homes here in Metro Detroit. There are school principals, both parents, that had homes in South Lebanon, that their homes was absolutely bombed for no reason whatsoever. We're not buying the narrative anymore that the Israeli media puts out and the U.S. basically controlled in aspects of it. The fact is that this community has had enough. Enough is enough, and we're taking action. We are filing a class action lawsuit against the Secretary of State, and we're going even further. It's going to be unprecedented in the nation's history. We're going after the manufacturers for nuisance. There's some case law out there that says that we can go after these manufacturers, that they knew that their weapons were going to be used in violation of the Leahy Act. They knew that their weapons are going to be used to destroy innocent people's homes, not military action. But yet they keep supplying these individuals. And all those senators and all those congresspeople in Washington, shame on them. Shame on them that they continue to support what has clearly been a genocidal act by the state of Israel.
Shame.
You know, we hear it over and over and over again. Don't just take ACRL's word for it. Take the World Court for it, the International Court. They have indicted the war criminal Netanyahu. They have indicted the Secretary of Defense in Israel. They've indicted other people and say this is war. There have been, under the Leahy Act, 667 complaints of violation of constitutional and humanitarian in Israel. Not one of them has found to be any action taken against them. But yet the United States government has taken every action against many different government actions, and tens of thousands of them they've denied giving weapons and aid to those nations, but for Israel. But for Israel. They not have taken any action against Israel. And they set it up in a way where it's almost impossible because it takes so long to address these violations and humanitarian violations, civil rights violations in the state of Israel. So today we're taking a stand. This is going to be a long, hard road working down. It's going to be one of the nation's unprecedented cases that we're taking action. If it's not in the heart of Dearborn, the largest concentration of the Arab Americans, then where else is it going to be? So we're going to take this action. We can assure you from ACRLs, as we did and changed the law on the no-fly list, terrorism list, as we changed the law on the banking industry, took on the banking, we're going to change the law here moving forward to help these community members where their homes are being blown up for absolutely no reason. Enough is enough. You know, this nation used to stand for dignity. One of the things about the Leahy Act, just so you know, is that one of the main reasons that we show as the United States that we protect civil rights, we honor civil rights, we uphold civil rights. Not sit here and degrade it and say we're going to blow up a whole country. Not say we're going to kidnap a president's country. Now we're saying we're going to assassinate a sovereign nation's president. That's not the America we know. We still believe in this country. You still see I have the flag up here above the area of American civil rights, because America comes first in our nation as we understand it. And we need to let them know and recognize in the court system, and the judges know this very well, that America comes first. So we're going after you. Get ready, because we're going to take everything that we have, and we have some of the best legal minds, research and writing, that we're going to go after this. So we're setting up a hotline. We have an email that we're going to set up that anyone that has affected, their homes being damaged, their properties being damaged, their business being damaged, to email us. We'll have an intake form for you, and you will be added to the class action lawsuit. And as we did in 2006, when Israel was dropping bombs, dropping leaflets on Lebanon saying, get out of your homes, while the U.S. Embassy was dropping leaflets, stay in your homes, while they're devastating the country, 340 plaintiffs we represented back in 2006. And we ended up that thing really, really quick within 10 days. But the fact is that we're going to be asking in this lawsuit coming up that for this to completely stop moving forward and take accountability as to each and every action that this Israeli aggression has done with the United States support. I want to turn it over now to our board member, the Wayne County Commissioner, Sam Beydoun, has been a vital force in helping on this matter.
Good afternoon. Today, I stand before you with a heavy heart. The world was told there was a ceasefire in Lebanon, but just days later, Lebanon is still burning. Let's be clear, there is no real ceasefire. A ceasefire requires both sides to stop. What we are witnessing is not a ceasefire. It's a continuation of destruction under a different name. Right now, our family members and fellow Lebanese citizens are calling us in desperation. They are reaching out to the Lebanese American community here in Michigan, pleading for help, especially from those of us with roots in the south of Lebanon, because what's happening in South Lebanon is catastrophic. Villages and cities like Bint Jbeil are looking like Hiroshima, and yes, you heard that right. Entire towns and villages and neighborhoods are being erased. What we are witnessing before our eyes is a campaign of ethnic cleansing. People are being forced from their homes with no place to go. Families are fleeing under the threat of bombs, leaving behind everything they have ever known. Many are now sleeping in the streets or in tents, barely scraping by, trying to survive day by day. This is the reality on the ground. And many of these homes belong to Lebanese Americans. They are owned by U.S. citizens. Some of these homes have been in families for generations, like my own home, my father's home, that was completely destroyed. They were passed down from grandparents to parents to children, carrying a lifetime of memories and a legacy built over generations. Families here in the United States are watching their homes, everything they have built, destroyed in real time. We need to ask a simple question. Who is supposed to protect these Lebanese civilians, their villages, their homes, and their properties from destruction? What international law is protecting them? Does the United States, the most powerful nation on the face of this planet, protect them? No, the United States is allowing this destruction to happen by financing and supplying the weapons to Israel. That's the irony. In asking who protects them, we are forced to confront the truth. We are enabling another war, and President Trump promised an end to forever wars in the Middle East and relief for everyday Americans struggling with the cost of living. He has done the exact opposite, sending billions of our tax dollars abroad to fund endless death and destruction, while gas and grocery prices go through the roof. But today, we have to ask, where's that promise? Because what we are seeing in South Lebanon goes against everything that was said. What we are witnessing in Lebanon is not isolated. It follows the same pattern we have already seen in Gaza. Widespread destruction, civilian infrastructure targeted, entire neighborhoods displaced. This is not self-defense. This is collective punishment. This is the forced removal of people from their land. In my beloved city of Bint Jbeil and villages across the south, Families who have already endured years of conflict are once again watching their homes reduced to rubble. Bint Jbeil, my beloved birthplace, is a city that stands as a symbol of resilience, dignity, and strength. The south of Lebanon is not just a region on a map. It is a story of courage, sacrifice, and pride that lives in the heart of every Lebanese. Finally, no matter where we go, we carry Lebanon with us. And today we are speaking out because silence is not an option. A ceasefire that does not stop the destruction and the return of all Lebanese to their cities and villages in South Lebanon is not a ceasefire. We will call it what it is. It's the ethnic cleansing of the Lebanese people who are deeply rooted in South Lebanon. Thank you.
At this moment, we'd like to call our U.S. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib to speak.
Thank you. Thank you all so much, and I wish we couldn't. This is going on almost over 3 years of us having to come together to say stop killing our people, stop tearing our communities apart, stop taking our land, stop taking everything that is about our roots as who we are as a people. You know, I introduced the Lebanon War Powers Resolution, and there hasn't been one story to see the diverse number of members of Congress that are supporting it, because people are tired of, again, the impunity that we continue to allow for the government of Israel, which is genocidal and a murderous regime right now. They are committing war crimes. And I'm angry with many of my colleagues that continue to say Beirut, South Lebanon, as if it's not one country. Lebanon is Lebanon. It is one land, one country, one people. And not only is this about buildings, this is about erasing us. When they bomb and tear down and take our homes, it's the ethnic cleansing campaign. It's part of the mission to erase and take more land. People want to talk about security, but they're not talking about what the Israeli government is talking about in the Knesset, about greater Israel, about expanding their boundaries. We need to educate the American people more, to understand that that is the mission. It has been the mission for a long time, to gain more land, not only in Lebanon, in Syria, in Palestine, in the region. So it's really important to understand ethnic cleansing campaign may have started in Palestine, but it had not stopped in Palestine. It is now expanding again to our communities. The War Powers Resolution that I'm co-leading with Congresswoman Ramirez orders the removal of U.S. armed forces, participation in unauthorized hostiles in Lebanon, including involvement in targeting assistance, intelligence sharing, which is incredibly important for the Israeli airstrikes and ground invasion. The United States right now is assisting in this destruction through the weapon sales, intelligence, logistics they offer, as well as diplomatic cover. It covers, again, the Israeli government, and Congress has the power and duty to put an end to this illegal, again, invasion and what I call an ethnic cleansing campaign. War Powers Resolution in Congress is privileged, and I'll teach you guys what this means. This means they cannot take it up for a vote. We're going to force a vote on the War Powers Resolution to end any U.S. help to, again, continue this unlawful actions by the government of Israel. I want my residents to see this, because I know sometimes you think we're alone. We're not. This is just half of all of the organizations that are supporting the War Powers Resolution to end the hostile, again, war and to discriminate bombings and ethnic cleansing that we see in Lebanon. We have more support now than ever. But I need all of you to continue to share your stories. One thing that I find we don't do is we don't allow us to be vulnerable. I said this to Sam. It is okay to share how hurtful and how much it hurts and how painful it is, because people need to understand what the human impact is. You need to talk about who in your lives have been directly impacted. People need to understand it's not just the building, it's the history and the ancestry, it's everything that we are. They're ripping away a part of our history and a part of, again, our culture, and everything, again, embodies who we are. These are villages that are literally been part of our families for generations, that they're erasing from a map. This is literally the definition of ethnic cleansing. So please, don't be shy in sharing. Please, tchafush, don't be afraid to speak up. I have your back. But the people need to know the truth. Because right now we're only allowing folks to gaslight and mislead the public that this is about one thing or another. We see it. These are family members that have nothing in their hands, literally being removed from their homes and having to live in the streets. It's shameful that our country continues to be silent, but it's more shameful that we're allowing them to say there's a ceasefire. We all know that we have family that cannot get back to vintage bail right now. It is completely blocked off. Ask people. That's not a ceasefire, that's violence. And please, don't ever let them in the discussion about just no more bombs. There better be a discussion about the right to return to our villages. As a Palestinian, I know this is important. We didn't do the right way in talking about the right to return. We talked about it as an afterthought. I'm telling you what I have learned from my history. You demand the right to return to the villages, to the homeland. Make sure our families have access again to their ancestral land. So important. I love you all and everything and how strong you are. Just a little bit. Try to humanize. I know we all want to continue to speak up and be loud and unapologetic and إحنا قويين, we're strong. I'm telling you guys this because I hear it. I love it. Don't get me wrong. Allah rahmah, my dad was the same way. I know they can't take who we are away. You know this. But please share your stories in a way that brings people with us to understand what the real impact is. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, again, for your leadership in D.C. at the federal level. Thank you. We are seeing right now the genocidal regime in Israel continue to violate the ceasefire in Lebanon, just like they did in Gaza. And we see the war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu being the one that is leading America's foreign policy decisions, with another war criminal named President Donald Trump. When you threaten to wipe out civilizations off the face of the map, and you threaten to bomb without consideration of civilian infrastructure, that is a war crime. That is why it's so important, the work being done today by ACRL to take this administration to the courtroom on behalf of the American people who are sick and tired of seeing their money be sent to go buy bombs to kill children overseas. The work ACRL is doing here today, we all must stand behind them. They are going to be the advocates not only for the American people, the Lebanese people, they're going to be the advocates of moral clarity in this country. Those that believe it's unacceptable for our tax dollars to starve children, kill children, separate them from their families, for our dollars to be spent overseas for a foreign government instead of here at home, and those that are okay turning on the phone and seeing the rubble and destruction happening in the Middle East. They will be in the courtroom fighting for the very soul of our country in a lot of ways. And so, Nabi, God bless you and your entire team. We all stand behind you. I know I do. And the work that you will be doing is precedent setting. This will be changing the course of the country. But I want to add this. The war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu is not allowed in any country that is a signatory of the ICC. He's not. But the only country that receives him regularly is the United States of America. And we must call on Congress, call on our elected officials that serve in D.C. as well, and demand that if they represent us, they must represent the values of the majority of America, which is no to war, no to the genocide, and no to the war criminal Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Thank you for coming. You are the most important people here right now, not the one who's standing on the podium. Your voices are very important. And I wanted to thank the ACRL for taking this initiative. This morning, after we have announced the press conference, a law firm in Beirut sent me a message saying they are willing to document pictures, name of the bombs that have been thrown at our homes, everything that the ACRL lawyers need in order to file this lawsuit. We live in the United States of America. the land of law. Not lawlessness, law. Even though we see a president who is a lawlessness, we still believe that the Constitution of the United States and the laws of the United States are very important. And they are extremely important when it comes to court, who has shown resilience against this dictatorship that is being displayed in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. Let me be here on 2 points. Number one, to our people in Lebanon, we hear you, we see you, we believe in you. You are the heroes defending our homeland with your blood and with your homes. And for that, we salute you today from Vintage Bale Cultural Center to all the people who are staying in the 55 villages and cities in the south of Lebanon that are being disseminated right now by a criminal named Benjamin Netanyahu. And we have a message to our community here. I think Rashida mentioned it. Do not be afraid. Speak up. Stand up. This is America. This is our country. We believe in the United States of America. We believe in the American people. If we stand up and speak, we will change the way this country is doing business overseas. Do it. In 2026, this year, there is an election. And we're going to tell the Democrats and the Republicans, we are going to vote in numbers. We are watching, and we are going to vote for those who believe that this country should stand with truth and with freedom, not with killing and destruction. And number two, also, for the media. I am a member of the media. Stop attacking our community, for God's sake. Stop it. It's not working. It's making you look pretty bad, Detroit News. Stop attacking our community. Amir Maklid defeated you yesterday. Defeated your propaganda. Media should be telling the truth, and the truth shall set us free. And I'm a member of the media, very disappointed in what has been happening. So we stand here, we thank the ACRL, we thank you, we thank our people in Lebanon. They are willing to work with us, and we're going to work, we're going to sue, and we're going to go to court, and we're going to win.
Thank you, Osama. At this stage, we want to talk about the personal testimonies of individuals' homes that actually have been bombarded by this illegal action in South Lebanon. 3 of our own board members, their homes have been devastated in bombings, yes. And we also have an attorney here also from Lebanon that could talk about many of the destructions and stuff. But for now, I want to turn over to our board member, Zaina, who is going to talk about her own personal experience that her family had to endure during this onslaught of Israelis' illegal, unconstitutional, and violation of our international court. Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Zaina Mekke-Jarofsky, and I am a lawyer, I am a ACRL board member, and I am a human being. I came to the United States in the early 1980s, fleeing Lebanon, fleeing the war with my family. After starting from zero, my parents rebuilt themselves in this country, following laws, becoming US citizens, working hard. A lot of you may know my parents, Dr. Samir Mackey, Wafat Mekki, Dearborn School educators, principals, working hard, working for the community, working with children, with families, with social workers, with everyone under the sun to protect our families at home. Meanwhile, saving every single dime, sending it back home to build a house to make sure that their children and their grandchildren have a connection to our land, have a connection to our village of Tibnin. No thanks to the warmongers in Washington and Israel. That dream of a home, of a connection, was destroyed. Our home was gone. A bomb was dropped on it and it was reduced to rubble. My grandfather's home, my grandfather on both sides in Tibnin, gone. My uncle's home, my uncle is a member, is the head of the Lebanese Red Cross. His home was bombed. This is erasure. This is unacceptable. For us to have our tax dollars being used in this way is heartbreaking, disgusting, and it needs to end. Thank you for listening to us, and please stay strong. And as to Osama's point, speak up. We're not afraid. We're U.S. citizens. We're educated, and we will have accountability. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. As Osama mentioned, we are a group of lawyers, members in Beirut Bar Association. We are going to try our best to document everything on the criminals that are going on right now, either against people or against homes, against our history, against our villages. The most important thing, we're gonna try to document everything when we have a chance in order to help in this lawsuit that's gonna be here in the US and moving forward even in the criminal court internationally. So we're gonna do that, a huge group of attorneys. We are trying to document everything as a rule of evidence to help in this lawsuit, inshallah.
Thank you. Lastly, I want to thank each and every one of you individuals that I heard this evening.
If you want to end the occupation of Lebanon and the occupation of Palestine, you have to end the occupation of Congress. And you have to end the occupation of the US government. And the only way to do that is to make sure you vote, your kids vote, your grandkids vote. In every election, we have the ability to make a difference. And we have an election coming up in November that you need to be president. We're going to keep fighting. This is a long process. Don't forget about this when things die down. So if you want to save your homes from the future, we got to work here in America today. So please, and if you have a home that's been destroyed, we're going to give you an email to send us the information and we'll contact you. It's info@ACRL-MICH.org. And we'll send that information out and we'll put it up in Osama's paper and everything. So thank you for being here.